All right, so this video is for anyone that is feeling stuck in life. You've tried it all. You've tried the gurus, you've tried the coaches, you've tried the courses, you've downloaded the ebooks, whatever it may be, and you are just at this point now where you feel like you're giving up. And what I'm going to share with you is the 3 secrets, the 3 things that you need in order to create financial freedom, in order to change your health, your wealth, your relationships, your physical and mental and emotional health. And it's not what you think it is. So if you're one of those people that's tried it all, you maybe spent hundreds, if not thousands, on coaches and gurus, I'm going to share with you right now and cut in a video from my live coaching program on the 3 things that you need to start impacting right now in order to create your dream reality and outcomes. Let's jump in. Okay, team, so it's Friday, 22nd of March. We're going to be running through the 3 main areas that you need to work on, upskill on, and go all in on in order to reach your financial goal for this year, the future, whether it's 10K, 20K, or 50K per month. And I encourage you, if you're watching the replay or you're watching this now, to grab a pen and paper so you can make notes. It's going to be an interactive session. I want us to have some breakthroughs. I want us to take some value away. And as I said, for some of you that saw me on the presentation last night, because we've actually got some guests in today, so welcome to all of our guests. It's not what you think it is. It isn't a funnel. It isn't a Facebook ad. It isn't some magic pill or potion. It's something a lot easier, simpler, but a lot harder to do. And we all know this, right? We help people lose weight and feel good, right? Weight loss is easy, isn't it? Like, it's really easy. You just eat less and you move more. But it's hard to do because of the obstacles, because of the challenges, and because of people's current paradigms, belief systems, characteristics, and the way that they deal with challenge on a daily basis, right? And if they're able to upgrade these areas of their lives, they can achieve whatever body they want. And for those of you that know me already, like, I may come across sometimes a bit woo-woo, a bit spiritual, but it's what I truly believe in. And it's what got me here today and where I am today. And I truly do believe that you never get back in life what you want. You only get back in life who you are. True to its core. Like, it really is. Like, whether you believe in God or the universe, like, you're currently living your preferred reality. And even if that's a tough pill to swallow, you're not happy with what you see in the mirror, you're not happy when you look at your bank account, everything is perfect because it's perfectly worked out from your past actions till now. You are where you are because that's where you're meant to be, and you have every possible tool to stay the same. So if you want to move forward in life in any area, we need to grab hold of new tools, learn new skills, change our belief systems, our characteristics. So it's all about the becoming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share screen with you lot. And here we go. Let's do it. Okay, perfect. So, and any questions as we go along, just pop them into the chat and I'll answer them at the end. And I'll also give you all a chance to unmute yourselves as well. Okay, perfect. So the 3 things you need to make 10K per month online or more, okay, is beliefs, characteristics, and skills. That is all. Because if you already had the beliefs, characteristics, and skills of someone that makes 10K plus a month online, you would already be doing it, right? And I know it's probably the obvious and it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but when you become the person or the person that has the characteristics, skills, and beliefs that makes 10K plus a month online with ease, that's when it will happen. Because if you did it already, you'd already have it. But the good news is, ladies and gents, the amazing news is that with every breath you take, every morning that you wake up is a chance to start again and create a new version of yourself. Every single day. Like, none of this is finite. None of this has to stay the same. We can pick our identity, our beliefs, and upskill ourselves from today and from tomorrow. Because what's got you here isn't going to get you there. And if nothing changes, right? So let's look at 2 things. We're looking at a vehicle and we're looking at a driver, okay? So the vehicle is your business, okay? So you could have any vehicle that you like. It could be drop shipping, real estate, high ticket coaching, subscriptions, Amazon FBA, an ad agency, whatever it may be. Pick your business and that's the vehicle. But can we all agree, and type a Y or an N in chat or raise your hand, that there are people out there right now with the vehicle that you have and they're making more money than you? Give me a yes or no in chat. Raise your hands if you believe this. Yeah. Cool. So it's not the vehicle, it's the driver. So it's all about working towards changing the vehicle, okay? So this is our current car that we're driving right now. This is the business, right? So you may be making 3K a month online, 5K, whatever it is, and then this is your desired state. Could be 10K, 20K, 50K per month. So if this represents my beat up car that I've got on the driveway, and this represents a F1 car, can we all agree that if we jumped into an F1 car today, we probably wouldn't be able to start it, change gears, pull away, and we'd probably end up crashing it, right? Because it takes a different set of skills and characteristics to drive that vehicle. And in order to turn your business from a beat up Nissan to an F1 vehicle, it's going to take some changes, guys. It's not about chasing the money, it's chasing who you need to become in order to make the money. Because if you was that person already, you'd be doing it with ease. Because what happens is if we do not make these changes, if we do not do the inner work, we get 2 to 3 months in and we've changed our funnel, we've gone after that new shiny thing, we've joined another program, whatever it may be, and doubt creeps in. And then we blame. And what do we blame? We blame the vehicle. It was the funnel. It was the system. It was the mentor. It was the coach, right? And we just keep going around in this loop and we get nowhere. And it's a bit like someone asking you to push their car up a hill and they keep pulling the handbrake up. You're just going to get annoyed and pissed off and give up eventually, or completely change your goals. It's all about taking responsibility, guys. And I had to do this a few years back when I was spinning my wheels, angry and pissed off at the world, thinking that business wasn't for me, and it's just not going to happen. So, not going to get anyone to suck eggs here, but this is a good reminder. Making money online, right? There's just a few things that you need to do. It's very, very simple. It's just not easy to do consistently. We've got the marketplace here down on the left, and we want the marketplace to put the money into your pockets, right? And all we need to do for them to put that money in your pockets is create value. And you probably hear this all the time, and I'm even sick and tired of hearing it myself. Create value, but what is value? Value is created when pain is alleviated. And I want you to get out of this mindset of just creating an online program that has PDFs for nutrition and a workout app and a community. It's just not going to cut it. Because there are hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of coaches doing that. And if you are just being compared because everyone's doing the same, type in the chat, what's the number one thing you're going to be compared on? Because I've been through a lot of online coaching programs. I've done fitness programs, mentorships, mastermind, price, exactly. And to be honest with you, I don't know if anyone's heard of James Smith or they've heard of RH Fitness and programs like this. You can get the same level, well, kind of level of coaching or resources, a community, a workout app, and some nutrition documents for anywhere between $6.99 to $15.99 a month. So it's not about the stuff, it's about the problems you solve. The number one mistake that I found with myself and the coaches that I coach now, when it comes to selling high ticket coaching, is just selling high ticket. Has anyone had a mentor or a coach in the past and they've said, when you reach a close rate of 50% or above, you need to put your prices up, right? Raise your hands if that's happened, right? It did to me. But if you don't change the program, if you don't change the product, if you don't change the problems that you solve, there's going to be that value to price discrepancy and you're going to lose people or not be able to sign them up. As I said before, just having a community, having some apps and some PDFs just isn't going to cut it. It's getting obsessed with people's problems. And to sell high ticket or low ticket or medium ticket, whatever it may be, you need to solve the problems at that level. So the payoff is 5 to 10x less than the payout. Because when the payoff is 5 to 10x of the payout, it's always a no-brainer. And in order to create perceived value, we need to get obsessed with our customers' problems, with our audience's problems, and how to solve it. I've got a mutual friend that I speak to occasionally called Emily, and she runs a 4-month program. So it's a 4-month program, and it's for women that have emotional eating problems. And she charges $6,000 for the program. And I asked her once, what's your back end after the 6 months? She said, well, what do you mean back end? She was like, if I can't solve their problems in 4 months for that price point, I might as well go selling something else. I may as well give up. And she's able to sell at that price point for that period of time for $6,000 because she is solving high ticket problems. Solving high ticket problems. Like solving a problem isn't just here's a workout. Solving a problem isn't just here's a nutrition document. Solving a problem isn't just here's a community. It's going levels deeper than that. And I'm not going to speak to you how to do that today. We teach that inside the program. But I want to give you something to think about. So as I said before, it's when pain alleviation is created by solving people's problems. And I want you to get obsessed with this so that you can do it faster and better than anyone else. Because the competition is growing on a daily basis. And we need to be able to do this faster and better than anyone else. People will pay more to solve their problems quicker. Fast even beats free. Look at liposuction, for example. Why do people pay thousands and thousands of pounds and dollars? Because it's just quick and instant. So we want to get obsessed with their problems, and we want to get obsessed with what the market wants and how to solve it. Because the entire world economy sits on one thing, which is the gap. Every single purchase that we make in life is to alleviate pain. That's all it is. Even, for example, if you're out and about today and you want to buy a sandwich, the reason why you want to buy a sandwich is because you're hungry. And if you're hungry, it creates pain. You don't have a sandwich, which is the problem. The sandwich solves the problem and you've alleviated the pain. And that takes you from your current situation to your desired situation. So we want to get madly obsessed with our market's problems and how to solve them. And as I said before, it's all about the gap. The world economy ticks on something we call the gap. In life, people have a current situation, a desired situation for most aspects of their life. These usually typically revolve around health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. Every day, people wake up and buy things that help them escape their current situation and achieve their desired situation. This applies to everything from chocolate, a pet horse, or even joining the Fit Pro Sales Academy. And the secret to client acquisition is to position you and your product as the staircase the person can climb to bridge the gap. To sell well, your product must be a vehicle for change. Like, remember that last sentence. Your product must be a vehicle for change, not just a pay-as-you-go system. I don't want you to get into the mindset of like being that driving instructor I had years ago that kept telling me I wasn't test ready yet. He was just trying to milk me for as many driving lessons as possible. So you can actually solve people's problems quicker and be a vehicle for change, and you can charge more for your services. You'll get more customers in, they'll be happier, they'll speak to more people and tell more people about it, and you'll create that business machine. So let's look at making 10K plus per month online, right? So I don't want you to go for the goal. I don't want you to go after the goal. It's the worst thing that you can do. You're just going to put it in the horizon. You're going to keep chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. What we want to do is focus on the inputs, because 10K is an output from those inputs of who you are or who you become. And I've said it again, and I'll probably say it again later. If you already had the skills, beliefs, and characteristics of someone that can make 10K a month online with ease, you would already be doing it. So let's stop chasing 10K per month and how to make it. Let's start chasing the person we need to become in order to make it with ease. And you probably think, Russ, this just sounds so simple. It really is. It really is. But your beliefs, characteristics, and skills are letting you down, and they're just creating your current reality. So as I said before, we need to upgrade our skills, characteristics, and beliefs. So I want you to start making the list right now on the call, okay? Because a skill is being good at something, right? So I want you to picture your next income goal. It could be 20K, 50K, 100K a month. And I want you to, for the next 3 to 4 minutes, I want you to make a list of the things you need to become good or world-class at in order to achieve it. And I'll start off and give you some examples, okay? Writing copy. Just like gone are the days where you can post a picture of your thumb and get clients online, right? That was like back in 2015. Writing copy that converts. Hitting people in the fields, emotional connection marketing, being able to meet your audience and prospects at their current level of pain and discomfort. Another one could be appointment setting. Appointment setting would take care of most of your problems, right? True? If you were having if you was to work on this for the next 30 to 60 days, and then you could wake up in the morning and every day your calendar is full with appointments, that would alleviate some pain, right? That would get you closer to your 10, 20, 30K a month. So it could be appointment setting, Facebook ads, creating reels, speaking on camera, creating webinars, whatever those skills are. And the main skills that I focus on is just outreach, paid ads, and selling. You may need to get really good at selling. Because when it comes to sales, this is what I believe in, is it's not about getting people to buy your services. It's about creating an environment that makes them feel like buying. So instead of having to hard close, we can just hand the power back over to the buyer so they think it was their idea to do so. If you think about sales experiences, we only remember the bad ones, right? We never remember the good, because it's like we're under sales anesthesia. And if you can upskill yourself to be able to do that, then sales is going to be effortless. So take the next minute before I move on to write down the list of skills that you need to upgrade, do more of, or start learning in order to make your desired income. Harry said here, big couple for me. Recognizing which lead gen option to start with, sticking with more reliable feedback cycles, how often I review my consult calls, review surveys and data. Amazing. And instead of figuring out which lead gen option to start with, just start with one. Be willing to jump off the cliff first and build the parachute on the way down. Because if I'm standing at the edge of the cliff now and I go to jump and I go, oh, do you know what? I don't like the color of the parachute. So I spend the next 30 days changing the color. And I go to jump off again and go, oh, I don't like the color of the stitching. And then I change the stitching. I'm never going to get there. So I need to be willing to jump off the cliff first and build the parachute on the way down. I'm going to get some bumps and scrapes. That's just feedback. That's just data. And I go again and I go again. Once again, this is a skill, a belief, and a characteristic that we need to change and upgrade in order to move the needle. Andy said here, copywriting, conversion conversations, booking appointments, time management, amazing. And once you've wrote this list down, you've just got to pick the 1 to 2 that's going to move the needle the most in your life right now in business and just go do it. Upgrade yourself. Learn how to write copy. Learn how to learn how to book appointments. And the biggest thing is getting obsessed with the fundamentals. Getting obsessed with the fundamentals. For example, we have a system inside of FSA called DM Sorcery. And DM Sorcery books our clients anywhere between 2 to 3 extra calls a day to 2 to 3 extra calls a week, depending on how skilled you are and the amount of input you get in to get the outputs. And it's completely different to anything you've ever done before with DMs. And the reason why I know this is no one's ever DM'd me since I've created it. So if you want to learn it, you'll be like one of the few people doing it right now. And we want to get obsessed with the fundamentals. So Andy gave me some feedback recently. And he said, Russ, I'm getting like a 17% uptake of people that want to book a call and 11% of people joining the call and signing up. I said, that's amazing. What's your percentage of people from the first message to wanting to see the video? And he was like, it's pretty low. So I was like, cool. So what we need to do is just get obsessed with why that thing isn't working, what we need to change, and be in testing mode to change different versions of that, because the other 2 outputs are fantastic. It's not about getting a new shiny funnel. It's not about chasing the next thing. It's not about getting addicted to stimuli. It's about getting addicted to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are, why did that post convert? Why did that copy land? Why is that headline working so well? Do I need to change this? Do I need to change that? So that you can keep testing and testing and testing. So let's do an audit on your characteristics. Some of these may be serving you, some of these may not, okay? Mary said, everyone needs to get on DM Sorcery. Even people who are not interested say to me how they like this approach. Exactly. We always get a 50-50 response. Either, yes, I'm in, or I really love the approach. It's refreshing. Rather than just seeing these blocks of text to sell people into cryptocurrencies and can I do your video editing, all that crap, it just puts people off. So let's do an audit on your characteristics. So I want you to write down all of your current characteristics and traits. So it might be patience, you might be an introvert, you might be a worrier, it might be humor, attractiveness. It could be that you're someone that's focused, disciplined, wants everything to be right, needs to learn and know everything. And I want you to cross out the ones that aren't serving you. And then I'm going to run through the 4 that you need to just focus on, and what I focus on every day, on improving, and that is all you need. One of my characteristics used to be a perfectionist. And a perfectionist just held me back from getting anywhere in business. As I said before, it's jumping off the cliff first and willing to just build the parachute on the way down. Because being a perfectionist meant in order for me to launch my next Facebook ad, I had to know everything. I had to watch the entire 16 hours of learning. I had to make sure that I knew everything about pixels and retargeting. And then when I learned that all, I was like, do you know what? I feel like I need a little bit more. So I bought another course. And I need to learn a little bit more. So I join a mastermind, or I follow someone and start watching their YouTube videos. Thank you. My wife bringing me my supplements. Thank you. Me and my wife work together in the business. She's the brains, I'm the mouthpiece. Right. Anyway, right. So it was me being a perfectionist that held me back. So that was one of my characteristics that I needed to assassinate and then recruit a new one to be willing to take imperfect action. So take another minute to do an audit on yourself. And if you're not doing it, then you're not going to learn. If you don't change an action or a behavior from this training, and I don't want to sound horrible, but it's absolutely pointless. It really is. In order for us to grow, we need to be able to use this information and put it into action. Change your behavior, change your habit, change your belief, and then your life will start changing. Okay, cool. So these are the 4 characteristics I need to be successful, and I believe you do too. One is focus. Focus is key. And it's all about setting up your environment so it's not in direct competition. I'm just going to close the store because there's a delivery noise. So that your environment is not in direct competition with your goals. So, for example, recently, I've deleted every social media app from my phone. I've managed to get a Google Chrome extension that if I do need to go on social media for work, it gets rid of the newsfeed, the notifications, the suggestions, the ads. I just have a tab where I need to go, okay? And to show you this, if I go into Facebook, so if I need to post something or get back to someone, there's nothing there, okay? Literally nothing there for me. It's just getting rid of all distractions. I've also got rid of all my social media apps. I don't have my phone, I have my phone, sorry, on airplane mode when I'm working. Because we've all got time, right? And we can't get any more time, sadly. We can allocate time, but we can't create any more time. If me and, I'm just going to talk to Bronick because I can see his face, started creating more time, I'd go into business with you, brother, and we'd both become billionaires, right? It just can't happen, okay? So we can't create more time, but we can create more energy to a degree, right? We can create more energy. But let's just say, and I'm not picking on you, mates, just because I can see your face, me and Bronick have 10 hours a day to work on our business. And for every hour, I have 5 units of focus, but Bronick has 20. So for the 10 hours we both work, he's going to be 4 times more productive. And how we build up on those units of focus is by eliminating distractions, is by just flexing the muscle. We live in a world right now where distractions are everywhere. We need dopamine every 24 seconds. We're addicted to this stimuli of just changing our focus. Like, raise your hand if you even struggle to watch a movie without checking your phone, right? Yeah, exactly. You know, who can read like 100 pages of book without getting distracted? Raise your hand if you can't, right? And I'm just as good, I'm just as bad as you guys, but I'm working on it, right? And it's these units of focus. And by you flexing that muscle, because it is a muscle, right? You're going to be more successful. Of all the millionaires and billionaires and multimillionaires that I read books on, one of their biggest skills, one of their biggest assets, one of their biggest characteristics is laser Jedi focus, like extremely focused people, being able to do the deep work. So it's eliminating those distractions. The second one is going to be discipline. More self-discipline, okay? And you probably already know the definition of self-discipline, but it is a form of self-love. And it is just doing what is required in spite of how you feel emotionally. It's becoming a man or woman of purpose over pleasure. It's building leverage in your life. If you don't have leverage, then your environment is always going to trump your will. Self-discipline is just doing the work. Because if your clients wake up in the morning feeling like a bag of shit and they don't get out of bed and go to the gym, whether they get out of bed and go to the gym or not, they're still going to feel like a bag of shit, right? So they may as well go to the gym with that feeling and emotion, because soon enough, by changing our focus, our state, our physiology, that feeling will subside and another feeling will take its place. So focus and self-discipline are massively intertwined. Let's have a little quick look into here. What's the name of the extension for Google? I'll get that for you in a moment, brother. Christian said, talking straight to me, Russ. I'm talking to a mirror as well, brother. Mary said he can't read 5. I totally get it, right? And then malleability. What I mean by this is like, you know, how a snake sheds its skin. You need to be able to, every single day, ever change and ever evolve. To let your ego die. To be able to look at data over emotion, which moves into number 4, emotional management. Like data over emotion, facts over feelings, and to work all these 4 together is going to make you not just 10 grand a month or a millionaire. Bronick said, as Mike Tyson said, discipline is doing what you hate like you love it. Exactly. I love that quote. I really do. And the other quote I love from Mike Tyson is spinal. Yeah, my back was broken. Mental. And I cannot believe he's doing one of those YouTube fights. I'm not going to go into it with Logan Paul. It's like ridiculous. Like it just, yeah, it's just strange. Yeah, Mary's spinal, Christian laughing. So just to go through this again, it's working on your focus. That's a characteristic, right? So if we've only got 1 unit of focus for every hour, if we can build up to 2 to 3 to 4, we're going to be more productive. If we can work on self-discipline, which is doing the work even when you don't feel like it, you're going to get more shit done. You're going to be able to learn these new skills. Being malleable is letting your ego die. Like, raise your hand if you don't like being a beginner. Right? Raise your hand if you don't like learning new things, because you can fuck up, right? Some of us don't. And the reason is, even if we've got the information, we don't put it into action because we want to self-sabotage. And the reason why we self-sabotage is that subconsciously, when we self-sabotage, we do the same things because we can predict the outcome. Because if nothing changes, so you can predict the outcome. And if you can predict the outcome, it makes you feel safe. But what keeps you safe keeps you unhappy, right? So it's that order to let it's that ability to let the ego die, that ability for you to be able to change and evolve every single day, and then manage your emotions, manage your triggers. What triggers you is your biggest teacher. What triggers you gives you your biggest lessons. So whether you're getting triggered by that old lady that's standing too close to you in the supermarket, or you're getting triggered by an email, you're getting triggered by social media, or you're getting triggered by your children, it's not what's happening that is triggering you. It's your thoughts about what's happening that's triggering you. So if you can change your thoughts, if you can reframe, if you can breathe, you can look at the data, and the data is the truth. Because 99.9% of the time, the way we feel when we're triggered is not true. We have zero evidence to back it up. And our ego just fills in the gaps to justify why we feel that way. Especially about past experiences, which we're going to come on to a second. If you have a belief at the moment, or why you feel a certain way at the moment, is because of that past experience. And if that past experience is like over a decade ago, your brain can't remember most of it. So your ego fills in the gaps to justify the feeling. Even if that feeling isn't serving you, you still get a benefit, which is you are right, but it keeps you stuck. Crazy, right? Because as Henry Ford said, right, whether you think you can do something or you can't, you're always 100% right. And you are your biggest problem as well as your biggest solution. And I am no different to any of you guys. Maybe I'm a couple of steps up the ladder further. That's all it is. Maybe I'm a belt higher in the dojo. That's all it is. But one drop in the ocean is the entire ocean. We are all the same. We have the same time in the day, same opportunities to learn the skills, characteristics, and change our beliefs to create our desired wealth on a monthly basis. So let's look at belief systems. This is the number one thing. The characteristics and the skills will not come into action if we don't work on our beliefs. And I've separated the two into beliefs and systems for a reason, right? Because I want to talk about the two. So all a belief is a statement of perceived truth. And if you believe that's wrong, it's just your statement of perceived truth, right? It's just how it works. Beliefs aren't facts. Okay, anyone got kids? Raise your hand. If you've got kids, do you believe they're your kids or do you factually know they're your kids? You know they are, so it's a fact, all right? So beliefs are just perceived truths. And the amazing thing about beliefs is we can change them, but we have to get in the reps. It's not going to happen overnight because you've currently subconsciously and a little bit consciously created all the beliefs you've got right now from your past experiences. So you're really good at doing it, but you're not really good at doing the beliefs that serve you and move the needle. So we need to get good at catching ourselves when these bad beliefs that don't serve us creep in so we can start reframing and changing it for new ones. And Christian said the milkman's kids. Don't. I'm expecting the little one in August. So yeah, I would tell a joke right now, but it's not appropriate. Right. So what do you believe to be true about making money, guys? And is it serving you? Ask yourself that question. Because it's all built around our past experiences or our current experiences that we're having today. So I want you to look at this as like a scale, right? This is the best I could do. And this is your negative experiences around money, and this is your positive. And all of our experiences around money and making it and the wealth of it, and if it's good or bad or evil, is either sensory or imaginary. That's all it is. It's either sensory or imaginary. That's all it is. From our senses that we have right now and our beliefs around money, or our imagination from the past. And if you're anything like me, give me a yes in chat or a no in chat or raise your hand. Mary said, my money relationships don't serve me for sure. Exactly. My past experiences with money are so compounded with negative experiences. I grew up with a single mum with 3 jobs. I grew up with coupons. I grew up with putting things on tick, as we call it in the UK, like on finance. I was told that money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to come by. Save for a rainy day. You've got to work hard for 50 years to become rich. Don't spend money on this. Even money is evil. And I spoke about this on a previous call with my clients about money being evil. It's pre-programmed into us from TV, right? Think about superheroes. And bear with me. All of the superheroes with their powers are either poor or orphans, right? And all of the bad guys are rich, multi-billionaire tycoons. And you're going to say, well, what about Batman? Well, Batman was rich, but he didn't get any powers. Iron Man was rich, but he didn't get any powers. He had to build them. And it's just in our belief system. Like, I'm not going to go on about it, but even like the film Titanic. They had to say it was a poor boy and the rich people are evil and blah, blah, blah. It's just programmed into us. The biggest lie we're ever told about money is that time equals money. Money equals time. Because if you think time equals money, you're only going to build a job. And JOB stands for just over broke. And if you've got that mindset, as your income grows, your things grow. And there's 3 different levels to money, right? And I don't want to offend anyone or trigger you, but if I do, remember it's a lesson and ask yourself why. We've got the poor money mindset, which is to have enough money to pay our bills and buy the things we want. And then we have the middle class mindset, which is to have enough money to pay our bills, buy the things we want, and have enough credit to buy the things we can't afford. And then we have the third, which is the wealthy mindset, which is make money to make more money, to build systems and build businesses that the money creates you more time. The money compounds and creates more. And if you don't break away from these two, and I was stuck in these two for many years, you never will. We've got to start thinking about money in a different way. So back to what I was saying with the scale. If we look at this as a scale, negative in the red, positive in the green, give me a yes or no in chat if in the past you've had negative experiences around money. It could be that like one of your parents lost their jobs and you had to move home. I mean, I slept on my auntie's floor in her lounge on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day one year because my mum didn't have enough money to pay the rent and to pay her bills. And then we were moving home and we couldn't stay there. And we couldn't get the leak, if it was like a leak we had in the kitchen or something like that. And we had to sleep Christmas Eve on the floor. And then she didn't have it. My mum never drove, so we had to just go there by a taxi. I had to leave all my Christmas presents at home. And on Christmas Day, I couldn't even open my Christmas presents. And I was about 6 or 7 years old. Okay, so give me a yes or no in chat if you've had bad experiences with money. So what happens is with these bad experiences, they create boulders or rocks or pebbles and they compound inside of here. But we can have just one positive experience from now onwards that can tip the scale in the other favour. These could be all pebbles and it could be just one giant rock and it can tip the scale. We can also work the other way as well. We can have all positive experiences with money and one negative experience just ruins it for us all. Harry said, used to be in scarcity minded, would be averse to ad spend. Took it a few years to move away from this. Yeah, love that, mate. Appreciate you being honest. And as I said before, it's either going to be sensory or imaginary. And imaginary is going to come back from our past. And what happens is that when we think about the past and we think about these experiences, our body doesn't know that we're not there. But our energy, our vibration, and our frequency does. And it believes it to be there. So let's say, like, I don't even like talking about it. Like, now I've spoke about that experience that I had on Christmas Day, I've now compounded that. So even though it happened once, it's now happened twice. And if it's all I think about happened 3 times, 4 times, it may compound up to 100 or 1,000 times. So can you now see how those past experiences and you focusing on them is warping and shifting your current belief system? We have to rewrite it. And instead of thinking about the past, which doesn't exist, like we could all close our eyes right now. I'm not going to ask you to do this, but we could close our eyes right now and think about the most embarrassing moment of our life or the most sad and heartbreaking moment of our life. And we're going to take ourselves there. As equally as we could speak about and think about the most proudest moment of our life. And what it will do, it will compound. And this is why you have that current belief system. I've got a client that I'm working with at the moment inside the program called Silas. And he just views money as evil. Doesn't want to ask for it. Doesn't want to speak about it. And it's just a current belief system. That's all it is. Maris said, when I was at uni in my first job, I earned £1.20 an hour. So earning thousands seems not right. We have Jock back home in America. They put presents in socks, in Latvia. Socks are already a present. How amazing is that? Andy said, my mum was skint growing up. My dad left her in tons of debt and never paid her a penny in child support. And my brother stole everything I had from the age of about 12 to 16. I feel I have a very good money mindset now simply because I want to do good in the world and the money massively helps with that. Plus I feel deserving of a good life. Absolutely love that. I really, really do. Okay, cool. I'm not going to go any more deep onto that because I get quite emotional myself. So what we need to do, if all we have is bad experiences in the past, we need to use our imagination. We need to use our imagination. We need to visualize in the future. We need to visualize ourselves and the person we need to become. So let's move on to systems. So I said about belief systems. This isn't mine. I took this from a mentor of mine, okay, to teach to you guys. And I'm going to do my best to not mess it up. But this is what I learned from one of my mentors about 3-4 years ago. And we have belief systems, and this all comes from this system here. So this is the environment. We could call this the sun. It could be your office. It could be your family, your friends. And this represents information and inputs. This represents beliefs and processes. This represents outputs and reality. And this is feedback. So let's use politics. Okay. I'm not very knowledgeable with politics, but you know, I see on YouTube, TikTok, let's talk about Trump, right? Whether you think Trump's good or bad, right? If you see some information on the internet about Trump, that's going to be an input. You're going to have a process, which is your current belief system. And the output is going to be Trump is bad or Trump is good, right? And then we get feedback and we go again. And if our environment doesn't change, if our information doesn't change, then we can't process any different beliefs. And I'm not trying to convert anyone from a hater or a lover of Trump, by the way. I'm not bothered by it by myself. But this is to do with money. So if all the inputs around money still give you the same processes and beliefs, you're still going to get the same output and reality. So we need to give it different feedback. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in a negative feedback loop for the rest of our lives. Mary said Trump 2024, baby. There we go, okay? Is this making sense, guys? Give me a yes or a no in chat if this is making sense, or give me a thumbs up if I can see your face. Let's have a little look and check in here. 100%. Yes from Andy. Perfect. Just making sure this is making sense. Okay, amazing. So I want us to make a list now I want everyone to do this. Look, if you're still driving, Cameron, don't do it. And I want you to get pen and paper, because if you don't list these out, it's not worth doing. It's not worth you being here, okay? Because we need to input this and then get a different output. So I want you to make a list of your current beliefs about appointment booking and making money, appointment booking in general. Because I think we can all agree, right? Appointment booking is probably the biggest gap you have right now from making 10K a month. It isn't doubling your prices. It isn't improving your sales skills, because if we don't have people to talk to, we can't sell our services. We need to get good at client acquisition. So what's your current beliefs? And I'm going to talk to you about what my current beliefs were. Appointment booking is hard. DMs are sleazy and salesy. Sales is manipulative. The market is too saturated. There's too much competition. Nobody wants to speak to me. Everybody's poor and skim. People are just time wasters, and so on and so on. Because if you didn't have some of these beliefs, you'd be doing a lot more of it, right? It's what holds us back. If your belief at the moment is that money is evil and I shouldn't get paid for what I do, then you're not going to ask for any money. And once again, even on this session, we just got to let that ego die a bit and just say, something's got to bloody change. So be honest with yourselves, guys and girls. List out your current beliefs when it comes to booking more appointments and sales calls. So I'm going to give you a minute to do so. Nobody wants to speak to me. People will think I'm a scammer. It just looks like spam. These were all beliefs of mine years ago. The market's too saturated. And remember, it's just a perceived truth that you're telling yourself, right? If you want to type them in the chat, type them in the chat. The industry has changed. Of course it has. It's never going to stay the same, right? Like, you know, climate changes, right? It's never going to stay the same. Harry said, now I understand that that sales is a number game, but the biggest belief issue, I think, is believing I need a well-polished site, etc. first. Yeah, I love that, mate. Truthfully, you could just use a simple lead page. Yeah, of course. And for anyone that's wondering if I've got a website, I don't have a website. I've ran 3 online businesses, and 2 of them in particular for 5 years online, to multiple 6 figures without a website. My social media is my website. My landing page is my website. Like someone said to me, do you have a business card? I said, only if I had a bit of steak to pick out my teeth. What do I need a business card for? My social media is a business card. Why do I want to give someone a business card and be reactive to them wanting to work with me? I want to be proactive and take their details and give them a call. Andy said, when I have the right strategy, it's actually easier than I thought. Yeah. And I appreciate you all being honest. So now you've wrote down those beliefs about appointment booking, about making money. I want you to invert them, okay? So I just want you to flip the script. So I just want you to write the opposite. And then I want you to scribble out all of the current beliefs, and I want you to print out on a big piece of paper on your wall next to your office, and I want you to do, we know this one, right? The 369 method. Anyone heard of the 369 method? You say it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening. And it's 7 times more powerful if you write it out as well. So you rewrite them out in your journal. 369. It's not just the lyrics to a song you might have heard, right? That Get Low song or whatever it was. It reminds me of a Need for Speed when I was a kid on the GameCube. So let's invert them. So the market is saturated. The market isn't saturated enough. There's too much competition. There's not enough competition. Booking appointments is hard. Booking appointments is effortless. My calendar's never full. I have an ocean of leads inside my calendar. Nobody wants to speak to me. Everybody wants to speak to me. I'm coming across salesy. I'm coming across as a servant leader. We convert the word to sell into Latin. It means to serve. Guys and girls, give me a yes or no in chat. If you had the cure to cancer and you was 1 message away from helping someone every day, would you sell it? Of course you would. You'd be telling everyone about it. Harry said, I don't need to spend time building a website before speaking to prospects daily. Love that. We just need to invert it. but say it over and over and over again. And you're going to probably think like, Russ, it's too woo-woo, it's too spiritual. With what you're currently doing ain't working, you've got to try something else, right? And I'm living proof. I am a totally different person to I am today. When I was making 5K a month online, I had the beliefs, skills, and characteristics that someone can make 5K a month. Now I make X per month. I have the beliefs, skills, and characteristics of the person that can make that with ease. When my calendar had 1 to 2 calls in a month, it was to do with that. Not to do with the systems, the processes, the vehicle. It was to do with the driver. Give me a yes or no in chat. And I know we hate this word, but do cold DMs book appointments? Yes, they do. If you have the right method and you do it enough. Does email marketing make sales? Yes, it does. Do Facebook ads convert into high-paying clients? Yes, it does. Does content convert and get people raising their hands, inboxing you and booking calls? Yes, it does. But your current skill set towards it is getting you the result. Your characteristics of how focused, disciplined, malleable, and your emotional management is dictating the outcome. And your current belief system is letting you down with changing that. That's all it is. And if you can fix this as quick as possible and just go from 0 to 1, not 0 to 100, and demand 1% more of yourself each day to improve, you're 100 days away from being 100% different, which is creating the 2.0 version of yourself. So now you've inverted them, you're never going to look at that other list again, okay? This list is gone. Burn it, all right? If it's on your phone, destroy it, right? Delete it. And I want you to write these out every single day, the ones that are going to move the needle most in your life. So lastly, this is the last thing I'm going to leave with, and then I'm open to questions. What time of it? Yeah, I've got 20 minutes for questions. Is that we need to put these into affirmations, into sentences. And we only need 2 things to do this. We need to imagine in the future and have an emotion attached to it to tell the story and do it every day. So every morning when I wake up and I've done my morning routine, part of that is anyone heard of Joe Dispenza? He's like a great meditation coach, right? I do his body scan in the mornings. So I check in with myself. I ask what's known today. And like, what do I know today? I know I've got this call with you guys. I've got a call later. I've got some catch-ups to do. But I don't know what's going to happen, which is cool. And everything outside of that is unknown as well. Because when I let go of control, I regain control, right? And then I talk to myself about how I want to show up today, how I don't want to show up today. Then I work through my gratitude. Then I work through my my wins, where I'm winning in life every single day. And the reason why I celebrate wins daily, because it creates strategic confidence. The reason why I celebrate gratitude every day is because it triggers abundance. Like my belief around money is it's abundant, and it abundantly comes to me. And then the last thing I do is I visualize me, because I live in the UK, and if anyone knows about the UK, it's horrible here. It's raining all the time, and you know, saying about Bronick saying about aggressive. A lot of people are aggressive here as well, mate. Is that I close my eyes, and I'm going to do it now. I love doing this, and I picture myself, because I want to live in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to live in the island of Crete. I want to live in Greece. I absolutely love Greece. It's beautiful, the food, the people, the culture. And I'm a very minimalistic person. I don't need cars and shiny things. I just want a swimming pool. I want to be by the beach, and I want to eat organic food and just raise my child in an environment completely different to what I had. And I wake up in the mornings, and when I do my visualization, I visualize myself opening my back doors with my lemon water, with a bit of apple cider vinegar in it, little mouthful of salt, and I step out barefoot onto the grass, and I can hear the waves in the background, take a sip of my drink, and I can hear my little girl, who will be 3 or 4 years old, then running around laughing, my wife putting her arms around me, the sun and the warmth on my skin, hearing the swimming pool filter going and the dog probably jumping in and out. And I just visualize it every single day. And before that, I visualized myself running 2 to 3 6-figure businesses, speaking on stage, becoming a client acquisition expert, making generational wealth, being the first millionaire, not the last in my family, which I'm working towards, breaking the generational curses and scars passed down to me from my parents so I don't have to others, and many other things. And to prove this, this is what I created in 2018. So I created a true self doctrine, and I create one of these every 2 to 3 years. And this was the one I created in 2018 for 2021. And 60, 70% of this has come true. This is what I wrote back in 2018. I'm a multi-six-figure earning online coach, influencer, public speaker, total financial and time freedom, works for himself, serving people at the highest level across all of his businesses. I wrote this when I was broke. And the funny thing is I read this with my wife at the weekend, just because I was like, you know, I want to just read the one that I did in 2018. And I've got one now for my goals for 2030. And the funny thing is that we went to the shops the other day, and there was a kebab shop, like a takeaway restaurant, and it had a sign in it saying driver wanted. And back in 2018, I was thinking about getting a delivery driver job because I wasn't making enough money from my personal training business. And it was just like a weird feeling of like I almost gave up on my dream. But I started working on my beliefs, characteristics, and skills, and I wrote this. This took me about 3 hours to write, and I still go back to it now. This is my old one. And I've achieved all of that. And it's not by chance, it's because I visualized it every day. I'm not saying this or showing you this to impress you, but to press upon you what is possible if you take action with this. Veronica said, I lived in West London for 24 years. I did a runner only in 2020. I used to love famous British weather. And he was said the true self-doctrine worksheet is powerful. Everyone needs to do it. And this goes through these are all my old ones, by the way. These have changed my character traits, my body type, my achievements, the mentors I had at the time, my branding. These were my goals for 2021 to achieve all this: financial freedom, health and fitness, my visualization of living in the countryside, which I do now, the car thing, I'm not bothered by it anymore, infinite abundance, public speaking. I managed to speak in front of like nearly 400 fitness professionals at a football stadium last September. And I was the kid in school that when asked to read a paragraph and stand up in English lesson, I couldn't even verbalize myself. I would stutter, get sweaty, and near enough to tears. Abundance, wealth abundance, even my perfect day down to the half an hour. And my principles, and then my affirmations. And there are a lot. It's this stuff that is going to move the needle in your business. It's this stuff that's going to create you the wealth that you want. It's not a funnel. It's not an ad. It's not a program. It's not a system.